So we're going to go ahead and look at a series of videos where people are saying this is the FAFO error. F around and find out error with a lot of people who voted for the orange man. So let's go ahead and take a look.
This woman was arguing with me on Facebook about how Trump is right to get rid of the Equal Opportunities Act by Lyndon B. Johnson because it was racist, and she's also someone who supported getting rid of affirmative action. But I'm just curious, because she's the same tone that I am, if she knows white women are the number one group that benefit from the Equal Opportunities Employment Act and affirmative action. Because prior to these laws, even we weren't getting into school the way we should have been based on our credentials. We certainly weren't getting jobs based on our credentials. We had men looking at us saying, well, you don't deserve to be in this field because you're a woman. Women can't lift 40 pounds. And they could fire you when you got pregnant. Exciting. Fucking idiots. Again, all of this is based on the fundamentalist movement, and the fundamentalist movement believes that a woman's place is in the kitchen having as many kids as possible, and she should not be out working, and she should not have the right to vote, that her husband should be voting for her and making all the decisions for her. So all of you ladies that voted for this nonsense just made it harder for your daughters to have a chance to go to college. You made it harder for yourself to get a job or get a promotion, and you made it much more likely that you and your daughters will experience elder poverty. Good job.
Message is for any Asian MAGA out there. We're next. I want to remind you that we are closer to the undocumented immigrants that are being deported right now than we are to them. We have more in common to the undocumented immigrants than we do to them. You remember how quickly MAGA turned on us during COVID, and it didn't matter if you were Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean, Japanese, Filipinos. To them, we were just chinks responsible for the China flu. It is foolish and frankly embarrassing that you think just because you wear the red hat that you're going to be spared when your time comes. This country is never going to be pure enough or white enough, and they are never going to accept you the way that you accept them. They have forgotten that they too have immigrants' blood in them, but let us not forget the crazy, difficult journey our parents, grandparents, great-grandparents took to get here, to escape their country for a chance of a better life. This is not it. Everybody deserves that chance.
I've made a video about this before, but I'm a U.S. citizen, born and raised in Tennessee, went to college at University of Kentucky, met my husband there. He's an immigrant. He moved over to the U.S. for college on an athletic scholarship from England. We've been married almost 3 years now. We're coming up on 3 years. So you would think he is well on his way to achieving his citizenship, or at least having his green card, right? No, wrong. And why can't he get his green card? Because his medical records aren't complete. And what is missing from his medical record? The COVID vaccine. Like, it is the year 2025, and we are still requiring the COVID vaccine. You can see it right here. It's backwards. Disregard. Complete the COVID-19 vaccine. But this is what they do. This is what they do to people who do it the right way. I can't even tell you how much money, thousands of dollars, we have spent on the different forms and applications and immigration lawyers and all of the different things, all for everything to expire on their time anyways. And for all you people who say, oh, Riley, your husband's here illegally, he should be deported. Just so you don't understand immigration, he is very much here legally. There are other ways to obtain residency than a green card, like visas or advanced parole. Or those of you who say, this is what you get when you voted for Donald Trump. Obviously, my husband can't vote, but if he could, he would have voted for Donald Trump. Change is coming with the current administration, but he has to undo everything that the former administration has done to our immigration system, both legally and illegally. Oh, and when they campaigned on the tagline, my body, my choice, this is proof they never really meant that.
All right. So, it's just interesting when you look at a lot of this stuff and different things that people are going through and what it is that they're saying, you know, with the whole Civil Rights Act, DEI, which is pretty much interchangeable, if we're going to keep it real. But when you go and look at that and you have people say, oh, that's not me, that's not a part of me. And it's like, I think you would be classified under gender. The reason why they put that is because you have male and female, and you aren't the male. Okay. Then you have a lot of people, like that one Asian lady, she brought up the Asians, and she's like, yo, we may be on the jump block next too. So I don't know. It all depends on what all happens. But many people in America, black people specifically, have realized that Asian people don't like us. I already knew a lot. When you go to a nail salon, go to a restaurant, like I had one lady, oh God, she was so rude. I've been followed on the cameras when I went to beauty supply, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm literally paying for stuff at your establishment. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't look for acceptance from anybody. If you don't like me, oh well. So you have all that kind of stuff that's going on. Then, well, in regards to the affirmative action, you had a whole bunch of white people say, "Oh, it's not right." Then you had the Asian people that were like, "Yeah, it's not right." Yeah, yeah. And then now you see that with these elite schools, quote unquote elite schools, which I don't know really how elite these schools really are, but you have a lot of Asian people who are like, "Oh, wait, did this negatively affect us?" And it's like, yeah, that's kind of how that works. Okay. But I want to finish this off with just this one video I thought was actually, I just thought it was funny.
I want to ask black people, how would you feel if white people held an event every year on the coast, the South Coast, Gulf Coast, and we called it White Beach Weekend? And black people weren't allowed to attend this event.
Girl, we wouldn't give a llama's left coochie lip if you and every other white person in white America gathered together today on the nearest beach eating potato salad with raisins in it and dancing offbeat to the Beach Boys. But I do have a question for you, Joy. How would you and all of those white people feel if we as black people came to that very same beach that y'all were having White Beach Wednesday or whatever you just said, and we stole you? And we drug you across an ocean to an entirely new continent and made you build a country after stealing everything from you. And then we offered you nothing in return for your services. How would you all feel, Joy? Every single time I hear something like this fly out of a white person's mouth, it just goes to show that you are more of an enemy than an ally. Because what about Black History Month makes you so upset? Joy, do you not understand that we were enslaved for hundreds of years? We were stolen, beaten, raped, murdered, and given absolutely nothing in return after building this country. And so because we take 1 month out of the year and we desire to celebrate ourselves, it makes you upset? And who in the hell told you in that partially crossed eye that white people could not participate in Black History Month? Who said that, Joy? Nobody.
Um, that read that he just did, oh my goodness. But one thing in regards to this video, that's the thing, you can participate if you want. Many of you choose not to because you say, oh, it doesn't celebrate me, so I don't want to hear about it. Okay. No one's saying you can't participate. If you want to participate, knock yourself out. Go ahead. But we're not going to center you for something that's not supposed to be for you in that regard. You know what I mean? So that's the thing, they get so bothered by that. But we have President's Day. We have 4th of July. We have a lot of y'all. We got Christmas, and some of y'all don't. Most of y'all don't be following the book. Okay, so you have all this kind of stuff that goes on. Anyways, Thanksgiving is like, y'all don't be complaining about any of this stuff, but go off.